Wind cut like broken glass against the side of the MRAP as it crawled through the canyon road. The convoy lights were blacked out, all night vision and thermal, crawling blind over a road that barely existed. 5 vehicles, 10 men each, 40 souls rolling through a place where maps turned into lies. Captain Reed sat in the front seat, helmet pressed to the door, staring through green-lit darkness. The mountains rose like black teeth on both sides, cliffs jagged and ugly, ready to swallow them whole. The satellite feed had died 20 minutes earlier, no drone, no sky eye, no overwatch. Just radio static. Still nothing, he asked. Corporal Jones tapped the GPS again like it owed him money. Dead grid. Same as the last 3 checkpoints. Like somebody cut the sky in half. Reed didn't answer. His fingers tightened over the rifle across his chest. Something was wrong. Not wrong like bad intel or a bad road. Wrong like the air itself was listening. In the back, Sergeant Harlow leaned between the seats. Sir, this canyon was marked safe last week. If there was enemy movement, Sergeant would have caught it. Reed shook his head. Unless we're not supposed to be here. Before Harlow could respond, the rear MRAP exploded. The night turned white. A column of flame punched upward like the earth had torn open, shrapnel screaming through darkness. The blast hit the convoy like a warhammer, flipping metal and dust into the sky. The shockwave made the windshield ripple. Glass dust filled lungs. Screams ripped through comms. Someone was shouting for medics, someone was already dead. The convoy locked brakes. Sand skidded. Tires spun. Men leaped out before the trucks even stopped. Tracer fire raked the ridge in red arcs. Automatic bursts echoed like thunder trapped in a cage. Reed hit the ground running. Static flooded his headset. Jones yelled through the chaos. Contact North Ridge. 200 meters. 3 shooters, correction, 4. Reed fired back, counting shots like seconds. Flank left. Push them off the rocks. Harlow, smoke front. Blue smoke grenades hissed upward, a wall of swirling color cutting sight lines. Shadows moved behind it, muzzle flashes lighting faces that Reed would remember forever. The ambush lasted 90 seconds. 90 seconds that felt like 90 years. When the ridge finally fell silent, all that remained were 2 bodies on the rocks and a crater where the last MRAP had been. 5 men gone. 2 more bleeding out. 20 eyes staring, waiting for orders that tasted like ash. Reed walked the perimeter in silence. He hated counting the dead. War made math cruel. He turned to Harlow. We're staying mobile. Get what we can out of the crater. Ammo first. Jones stepped closer, shaking. Sir, the blast didn't hit the fuel tank. That vehicle cooked from the inside. Reed stared. How? Jones picked up a chunk of metal, glowing orange. No heat damage from the outside. That was internal. Reed watched the canyon walls like they were mirrors. Something was wrong beyond bullets and bombs. Something this place refused to explain. Then the radio clicked. Not the modern encrypted channel. Not the frequency HQ used. A low band, crackling, like a ghost whispering over wires. Fox, 6, check, right flank, 2 shooters, elevation, 60. Jones froze. Sir, that call, it gave us enemy positions. Reed frowned. That's impossible. We're the only unit on this road. The radio crackled again, cleaner this time, like an old radio being tuned by someone with trembling hands. Canyon, sweep, repeat, sweep, right, elevation, 60, danger close. Reed grabbed the handset. This is Captain Reed, 3rd Recon. Identify yourself. Silence. Then a voice, low, distorted, exhausted, like someone speaking from the bottom of a grave. "You're late." The line cut. Jones stepped back like he'd seen a ghost. "Sir, that voice, that's not encryption. That's analog. No scrambling. Like, Vietnam-era radio." Reed's jaw tightened. "Range?" "Short range. Within 2 miles, maybe less." Reed looked at the canyon like it was an open mouth. Someone was here. Someone who knew the attack before it happened. Someone who watched it happen. He waved the team in. "We're moving. No headlights. Guns up. If that frequency comes back, I want it recorded." They moved as a single organism, 40 men moving like shadows, boots sinking into sand that still shook from the blast. The canyon narrowed, walls scraping sky like broken concrete. Reed hated narrow ground. You couldn't see death coming. Only feel it. Half an hour later, they reached a dead bend in the canyon, like the earth had tried to swallow the road. Jones checked a map lit under red light. "Sir, this turn isn't here. It shouldn't exist." Reed stared down the gravel throat of the bend. Someone changed the terrain. Before Jones could speak, the radio clicked again. This time the signal was strong. Warm. And strangely, personal. "Reed, take the left cut, your right flank is exposed, cliffs above, elevation, 62. Reed froze. That wasn't just tactical directions. It used his name. Jones whispered. "Sir, that voice knows you." Reed lifted the handset slowly. "Whoever this is, identify yourself." Silence. Then 2 words. "Old Echo." The line died. Harlow looked at Reed like the earth had tilted. "Echo?" "Sir, that's the call sign for retired units. Old Echo means, dead frequency. Lost channel. No modern command uses it." Reed felt his blood go cold. Dead frequency. Lost call sign. A voice giving directions like it was still fighting a war nobody remembered. Jones played back the recording through the small speaker. The audio wasn't like modern comms, it had depth, static, the soft hum of analog tubes. It sounded alive. "Elevation 62, Reed whispered. He glanced up. The ridge was 62 feet above them. Exactly. He walked toward the left cut, hand raised, team in formation, clearing corners like the canyon was a maze drawn by a madman. Every rock felt deliberate. Every shadow with a mouth. Around the next turn, something in the sand caught Harlow's boot. He knelt. A metal tag, half buried in dust. Dog tag. Reed flipped it over with gloved fingers. Echo 6. Serial number. Blood type. Name worn off by time. The metal was old, edges rusted. Not recent. Jones stared. "Sir, that's US issue from the 80s. Reed swallowed hard. "Who the hell is talking to us?" A scream cut through comms. The point man fell, blood spraying across stone. A shot cracked from the ridge. The team dove behind rocks, returning fire. Every bullet sounded like thunder trapped in a jar. Reed shouted positions. 3 shooters. Northeast ridge. Jones slammed the rifle against stone. No visual. Then the radio clicked. 2 shooters, elevation, 62, right ridge, arc your fire, 3 degrees south. Reed didn't hesitate. Arc 3 degrees. Focus right ridge. The team adjusted. 2 shots. 2 bodies fell. Silence swallowed the canyon. Harlow stared at the radio like it was a bomb. "Sir, that voice saved us again." Jones whispered what everyone feared. What if it's not enemy? What if it's someone trying to finish a mission left open? Reed looked at the dog tag again. Echo 6. A call sign buried under 30 years of dust. The wind howled through the canyon like someone screaming into a broken speaker. Reed keyed the mic with a hand that didn't shake, but wanted to. Old Echo, we're listening. No response. Just the valley breathing. They moved again, slower now, every step like walking through another man's memory. Ammo low. Medics working. Eyes sunken. 40 souls trying to stay alive in a place where time had rusted. At the canyon exit, the radio clicked one last time. You're 5 hours late, extraction won't wait, move. Reed stopped. Extraction. Someone thought they were still in play. Still on mission. Still part of a war that ended before half his men were born. He didn't know whether to be afraid, or grateful. He raised the mic. Old Echo, what is the extraction point? Static. Then coordinates. Old format. Coordinates that weren't used since the Cold War. Jones gasped. That point is 40 kilometers north. Past the border line. No roads. No air. Reed stared into darkness. Extraction. A word that tasted like salvation and hell at the same time. We move, he said. You heard the ghost. The team started walking, 40 shadows cutting through a canyon built of secrets. Above them, stars flickered like dying radios. The dead frequency hummed in silence. And somewhere on the wind, a voice waited. Snow hammered the extraction ridge like the mountain wanted to bury the truth forever. Reed crawled the last meters dragging the radio on his chest, blood freezing against his vest. Behind him, the team lay in a broken line across the rocks, each man where he fell, rifles pointed toward the darkness, holding the perimeter until their last breath. The beacon pulsed once, twice, then a roar split the storm as two rotors punched through the cloud like iron wings. The helicopter circled, hunting for survivors, but the radio came alive on its own, Old Echo's voice pushing through every frequency at once, a dying man teaching the future how to live. Reed, the mission was never extraction, it was memory, men disappear, wars don't, carry the names home, pass the radio, don't let them forget Echo. Reed pressed the handset to his helmet, whispering through shaking teeth. I hear you, old man. I'll bring them home. He lifted the dog tags, 27 cold chains clinking together, and clipped them to the radio antenna. When the helicopter finally hovered above him, its spotlight burned through the snow and lit the mountain like daylight, and for a second Reed saw silhouettes standing in the storm, shapes wearing old uniforms, saluting through the blizzard, frozen in time but finally at peace. Then the light blinked, the vision died, and the storm swallowed them. Reed was the last man lifted from the ridge, one hand gripping the radio, the other wrapped around the tags, carrying 40 souls and one voice that refused to die. As the helicopter broke over the valley, the radio whispered a final message, soft as a heartbeat in the dark. Echo is never gone, as long as someone answers. Reed closed his eyes, held the handset to his forehead, and let the frequency fade into silence. Thanks for watching this mission. Hit subscribe, turn the bell icon on, and like the video to support more stories like this. New military survival stories drop every week.